Yes.
Okay. Your petition says you dated back in the summer of 2018.
Yes, we did. And then we broke up. We broke up and then we started dating again in
In
2025.
2025. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
You can continue.
Um, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. We
Today's custody showdown. Dad Matthew Slater claims Mom Miss Brooks blocked 13 pickups for 4-year-old Aura. Texts, calendars, and a disputed school dismissal time are about to collide, and someone's credibility won't survive. Stay for the twist. Then subscribe, like, and share for more dramatic breakdowns right now in this hearing.
How is it that you need an order against Mr. King?
So I've prepared a brief statement, if that would work.
Well, I sworn you in. I need you to tell me however you want to do it.
Okay. Yes,
Most
sir.
people just tell me what happened out there. You're asking for an order against Mr. King.
Yes, sir.
Why is one necessary?
Okay.
Within the context of that definition that I read earlier.
Yes. And I've also submitted a statement of facts as part of my case file. So that's a very thorough and detailed write-up that has.
Okay, well, why don't you,
times.
we're on the record now in an open court and testimony. So why don't you put all that on the record, and then I'll swear in Mr. King. I'll hear his response.
Yes, sir. I'll start with the high level. My name is Michael Walton, and I am seeking a domestic violence protection order against Jason King. I'm a computer scientist in career transition and currently studying mycology and forest ecology at the Evergreen State College. I'm also a writer, naturalist, and outdoorsman. I characterize myself as a quiet, private person and generally keep to myself. I am seeking this order after enduring over a year of continued stalking and harassment perpetrated by Mr. King against me following the breakup of our 2-year relationship. Mr. King's jealous, impulsive, and personally invasive behavior presented challenges early in our relationship, and these continued patterns were a significant factor motivating our separation. I repeatedly told Jason while we were together that I was not comfortable with non-consensual or coerced monitoring of my whereabouts and would not tolerate invasions of my privacy. Over the past year, Mr. King's continued stalking behavior has had a deleterious effect on my mental health, damaged my personal relationships, and been disruptive to my career and academics. I've done my very best to tolerate Mr. King's erratic behavior in the hopes that he would eventually move on without further incident. I have held off taking any legal action as I have no desire to disrupt or negatively impact Mr. King's life. I continue to hold no ill will against him and want nothing from him other than to be left alone. However, it has been over a year now, and I have learned that Mr. King has been bothering my family, friends, and acquaintances. This behavior has caused additional emotional distress for myself and my relationships, and made it difficult for me to form connections at a particularly challenging part of my life as I navigate a breakup, moving to a new area, and a career transition simultaneously. I'm requesting a domestic violence protection order as I feel it is the safest, minimally impactful option to mitigate risk of further harm. I believe the court will agree that this order is necessary to guard against further stalking, harassment, and potential escalation from Mr. King. It is my sincere hope that Mr. King will understand the severity of the situation and take whatever steps he needs to heal and move on from these harmful patterns.
So in your recitation there, you just kind of refer generally as stalking and harassment.
Yes.
Specifically, what has he done that leads you to those conclusions? Because I can't just say, well, he's stalking me, so things like that. I need you specifically he's done.
Absolutely, sir. That's all recorded in my statement of facts.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Michael Walton ended his relationship with Jason King on October 17th, 2024, after living together for approximately 2 years. Michael requested at that time that Jason not contact him outside of arranging times to pick up Michael's belongings, and that he not be present when Michael came to the residence. The two parties remained on speaking terms for several weeks, and Jason initially seemed to honor Michael's requests. In the afternoon of October 28th, 2024, Michael packed a number of his belongings from an office space he rented located at, and that's redacted in the document I submitted, but I have the address, of course. Jason was aware of this address of Michael's office and had occasionally visited the location during their relationship. After packing his belongings, Michael drove to Olympia. Around 9 p.m., Michael received an iOS safety notification indicating that an unknown Apple AirTag was traveling with him. Using the locate AirTag feature, Michael found the AirTag in an exterior cargo bag on the back of his vehicle. This device was placed there without Michael's knowledge or consent. The AirTag serial number, GPS, track, and owner information can be found in the attached evidence, with the last 4 digits of the owner's phone number matching Jason's. Michael deactivated and disposed of the AirTag and did not confront Jason about the incident. On November 10th, Michael arranged with Jason to remove the remainder of his belongings from the residence they shared located at address. arrived at 12 o'clock and did not see Jason there, although a number of Jason's friends were present setting up for a party. Michael packed his belongings, including a 3D printer, which belonged to him. Michael left the residence at 12:58, stopped at his office in Centralia at 1:30, and returned to his permanent address in Olympia. At 3:30 p.m., Michael again received several iOS safety notifications indicating there were several AirTags traveling with him. Michael found a total of 4 additional AirTags, 3 of which were hidden under the floor mats inside his vehicle, and 1 of which had been hidden inside of the control box of the 3D printer, which was previously in Jason's possession. Serial numbers, GPS tracks, and other information for these AirTags can be found in the attached evidence. Again, the last 4 digits of the associated phone number match Jason's. Jason sent Michael a lengthy message on November 14th, 2024 at 1:10 p.m. indicating that he wanted Michael to retrieve a box of his belongings that he had left. Michael replied that he would respond later as he was in meetings all day. Michael sent a message at 10:17 that he did not want the items and suggested that they be donated or discarded and wished Jason the best. At around 10:30, approximately 15 minutes after sending this message, Jason pounded loudly on the door of Michael's residence. Michael had never told Jason his new address, and the visit was unwelcome and without Michael's consent. The time between Michael sending the message and Jason's arrival indicated that Jason was already in the area of Michael's residence, located approximately 30 minutes outside of Olympia and 1 hour from Jason's residence. In a raised voice, Jason aggressively demanded that Michael open the door. Michael did not comply and repeatedly said through the door, "Get back in your car and drive away." Jason continued to demand that Michael open the door and screamed that he was having sex with an individual that Michael had recently become friends with. Finally, Jason got in his car and drove away while honking the horn of his vehicle. After this incident, Michael blocked Jason on all platforms. In the weeks and months following, Michael received a number of packages and letters from Jason, some hand-delivered and others mailed. Jason also subscribed Michael's new address to a book delivery service he did not consent to. Jason sent Michael a text message on March 10th, 2025 from a second phone number. All of these actions were undesired by Michael. During the spring and summer months, it was indicated to Michael by several friends that a strange account had contacted them via dating platforms. In some instances, this account claimed to be Michael's significant other. The unknown account knew personal information about Michael and asked probing questions as to Michael's whereabouts and the nature of Michael's relationships. Michael's friends expressed that they do not feel comfortable sharing further details for fear of retaliation by Jason. Michael encountered Jason unexpectedly in Olympia Target towards the end of September. The two were relatively cordial. Jason indicated that he had a package Michael might want. Michael exited the conversation as politely and quickly as he could. On September 28th, Michael met and became friends with a redacted party, hereafter referred to as the third party to protect his privacy. It was later observed by the third party that Jason messaged him unexpectedly about an hour after having met Michael. The third party further noted that it was odd that Jason was asking him questions about a white Jeep, which matches the description of Michael's vehicle. Further details can be found in the third party statement as attached evidence. On December 10th, 2025, at approximately 2:30, Michael visited the third party at his home at his address. The third party seemed nervous and asked if Michael could park his car in another location behind a barn so that it would be out of sight of the road. Michael inquired as to why, and the third party indicated that Jason had been there earlier that day and was asking very strange questions about Michael. The third party also indicated that Jason had shown him intimate videos of Michael on his phone. The third party then indicated that Jason had been trying to convince him to let him come back to the house and had driven several times up and down the street. Michael asked the third party if he would feel safe if he left, to which the third party responded in the affirmative. On departing, Michael then observed and photographed Jason's car parked in a driveway within walking distance of the third party's residence. A photograph of Jason's vehicle with license plate at that location are provided in the included evidence. After this incident, Michael contacted Thurston County Police and spoke with Deputy Warnock to report the series of incidents involving Jason King that had occurred over the past year. The officer's notes for this police event are provided in the attached evidence obtained via public records request. After reviewing the timeline of events, Michael became convinced that his location was still being tracked and inspected his vehicle again for any signs of tracking devices. At 2:20 p.m. on December 17th, 2025, Michael found a GPS tracking device inside a weatherproof case magnetically affixed to the rear underside of his vehicle. Photographic documentation of this device is provided in the attached evidence. This incident was also reported to Thurston County Police and described in Deputy Forda's notes for the police event number provided in the attached evidence and obtained via public records request. Michael, again, does not want anything from Jason other than to be left alone. Michael is concerned that Jason's behavior now affects more than just him, as Michael's friends and relationships have been targeted as well. Michael has only resorted to involving the court to request this protection order as he believes it is the safest solution for all parties involved.
When was that, those Apple tracking devices, for lack of a better term, that was back when the relationship broke up, but the most recent one, when was that discovered?
I found that December 17th. So that was last week. And the event involving my friend, who I refer to as third party, that occurred on December 10th. And I did confirm that Jason's vehicle was parked just down the street.
Give me just a minute.
Cross-exam lands the punch. Slater admits he didn't appear at 3:15 on the alleged violations, yet he wants Mom punished for not handing over Aura then. That's illegal self-own. Now he's still seeking makeup time, attorney's fees, and suspended commitment today anyway. Audience, confusion, stubbornness, or strategy gone wrong.
Mr. King, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Well, you're muted, so I can't hear a thing you're saying, first of all.
Apologies, I'm in a hotel and the cleaning person walked in right as you're saying that. But yes, I do.
Okay, so again, raise your hand then, please. You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. What's your position on Mr. Walton's request for an order?
I have some things I'd like to go over as well. First I want to say whether a restraining order is done or not done, it's very clear now to me that there is no moving forward in any capacity of a friendship or anything like that. So either way, I don't plan on having any contact with him at all. But I do want to touch on some things that were mentioned. First of all, on December 10th, the person, his name is Angel. I actually have text showing that he invited me over. I was there, and that he also, I'll just read it to you. And I don't know if you want me to read everything, even the.
I mean, that's not really. I'll be blunt with you. You know, Mr. King is making some.
Well,
that's really the fact that you were there is not great. But I mean, there's other things that are more important that I've heard. Let me put it that way.
okay.
So it's up to you as to what you want to tell me.
I was going to go over everything. I was just starting with that, if that's
But
okay.
and you can just generalize what you're what you want to say, but go ahead. I'll hear from you.
Sure. Okay. On December 10th, 11:30 a.m., the person that we are both talking about, his name is Angel. He messaged me. He said, hello. He said, are you available right now? I'm alone right now. No people here. I said, I just sat down to eat. I can come over after. How long are you available? He said 4 hours. I said, what's your address again? Heading over. This was at 11:49 a.m. He gave me the address, asked my ETA. I said 20 minutes. He says, park your car in the same spot, not in the driveway because it belongs to the renters. I said, okay. Went over, saw him, left. And then at 12:59 p.m., I messaged him. I said, I think I left my other set of keys there. He goes, okay, you can come. I said, okay. I went over at 2:31 p.m. and there was the white Jeep in the driveway, so I parked down where he had told me to park, and I was waiting for the white Jeep to leave to go because from the looks of it, it was Mike's Jeep, but I did not know that Mike was there until I drove by. It was stated somewhere that I had drove by several times. I only drove by once and then parked.
Um,
That was that.
okay, go ahead. Continue on.
Okay.
What you'd like to say.
Sure. Going back, I just wanted to kind of give a brief summary of during our relationship. There were several times that Michael had talked about being bipolar, and this will all kind of make sense as I get to the end. On June of 2022, I had found out that he was dating someone else and traveling with him without my knowledge. We sat down at an airport and talked about this and about his mental health and him doing the correct thing and talking to this person. And he did. That was a first episode of that. On October 9th, 2022, my brother, who Michael had became very close to, had ALS, and he passed away. And Michael was the one that found him. And I know that that was very difficult for him, and that didn't help his mental health. And I tried to be there for him. October, it was the 29th or 30th of 2022. We were in Nashville. We went to a bar.
I don't need to. I'm concerned also with recent things, and maybe I could have said the same thing for Mr. Walton about things in 2024. Things that happened in 2022 are going to have no bearing on what I do here today.
Okay.
And so I just want to let you know that that's not really relevant to the.
The only reason I was talking about it is because in the end, the reason there was many instances over the time that we were together that he would have episodes or fall into depression, and it would concern me throughout our relationship. So, long story short, in the end, after we broke up, at first I thought that maybe this was another episode because had happened several times like this, and I was concerned about him. So I did one day. He had came to the house to gather his stuff, and I followed him up to his new place, and that is how I found out where he lived. It wasn't through air tags or tracking device or whatever. Um, and as far as that book club thing, I had already done that through a relationship, and just continued it on as like a Christmas gift because that was at the beginning of our breakup, and I didn't. At no point has he ever, until this came out, said don't contact me, don't I don't want to talk to you, anything like that. He even on November 8th of this year, sorry, November 8th of 2024, after he, according to the documentation, found air tags and stuff, he asked me to go to lunch. He said that he had time to get settled and he thought it'd be nice to have lunch and to catch up. One thing about the tracking, it was Michael's idea. We were in Greece together and during a relationship, and we were at the airport, and he was going to be gone. He was going to Mongolia and I think Italy after that. He is the one that suggested that we share locations on our phone, and we did.
When did he suggest that?
We were in Greece. When were we in Greece? It was like 2023, I believe. I could look up the exact.
Don't you think that suggestion might go away once you've broken up?
Well, we still shared our location after the day we broke up. It wasn't until, I don't know.
It doesn't sound like he really knew about that until he found these things on his car or in other places.
No, I'm talking about on our phone. Our phone location.
I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the tracking devices that were discovered by him.
The tracking, the air tags, it was his sister who suggested that we get air tags for the dogs because they kept leaving the property. So yes, very well, there could have been air tags in his car left there.
And what about the one?
That one, I
The
am
most
not,
recently discovered one, which is not an AirTag.
that one, I don't remember that. I did just look a few minutes ago at that picture. I don't remember that specific, but it very well could be while we were together that that was in his car. Yes,
And
but
so he was driving around about it with
that
2 years and not know about it?
that was something that wasn't recent. No,
Okay.
if it was put in.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. I apologize for interrupting.
No, that's okay. Um, Basically, and then we did see each other at Target in, I believe it was at the beginning of October. That was the first time we'd seen each other in person since we had broken up. And I take that back. Let me go back to the day that uh, I went to his place to drop off the stuff. Um, I had drove in, I knocked on the door. You could see from the uh, ground where the windows that he was of his place. I saw him go grab a gun, which looked like a rifle, come to the door, and we did chat through the door. He did not open the door, and I did drive off and honk the horn because that one was kind of scary, and it also brought me back to like all these different episodes that he had had, and I was concerned, and I was also scared for myself because he had pulled a gun. I don't think that he would have done anything. He didn't do anything, but
And when did this happen?
that was on November 10th, I believe. One second here. I'll tell you exactly. Of 2020. We're talking about 2024. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I'm not. Okay. But I'll let you finish. But again, you need to understand that what I'm more interested in are the recent activity.
Well, that was after we broke up. I don't know if that's what you're considering recent or like we're talking about like basically last year since we broke up. Is that correct?
Okay. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. That was on November 14th, approximately what he had talked about earlier of me being in the area and coming to the place that ties in with that specific incident. Um, and then, but again, and yes, he is correct. I did leave like a Christmas packages. I left birthday package, and I did text a few times, but again, at that point, like it was never stated, leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you, anything like that. So if he would have just simply communicated and said, leave me alone. I mean, he'd asked me to go to lunch with him. We saw each other just back in this October of 2025, where we did have a cordial conversation. He even said he would reach out to me because I did say there was a book, which is still at my place, that had came in the mail for him. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if he would have just said, I don't want anything else to do with you, leave me alone, instead of being cordial, being not, you know what I mean? That's fine. I would have done it.
Well, here's where I'm at here, Mr. Walton and Mr. King. You know, I've listened to you both. I've reviewed everything that was filed before I came on the bench here. And, you know, I'll cut to the chase first, and then I'll explain why. I am going to enter an order. An order is going to be in place for a year. It's the parameters of the order are you're not to contact Mr. Walton, you're not to cause him any harm. And maybe most importantly, do not engage in stalking behavior of any sort. Don't come within 1,000 feet of him, his residence, or workplace. And the basis for the order, frankly, is the thing that most concerns me about post-breakup at these tracking devices. It doesn't make much sense to me that you would say, well, this is something we agreed to, when Mr. Walton is saying he's found them under his, you know, and he's getting these alerts, which apparently he hadn't gotten before, that those Apple devices are being replaced. And had that happened just a year ago and nothing happened since then, I might not be that sympathetic to an order. But when I find that now that there's a different type of tracking device that he just recently discovered, and who knows how long it's been there, I can, but then to me, that would be disturbing to anyone. Have an ex-partner or someone you've been in a dating relationship with to find out that there's electronic tracking going on in a car. That's disturbing for anyone. And you said, well, had he just said that he didn't want any contact with me, none of this would have happened. No one needs to say that, hey, don't put a tracking device on my car. That's almost the definition of stalking almost. And so that, frankly, is what concerns me the most, and why the primary basis for me entering an order. And like I say, and again, hopefully this draws up, you said before that whether an order is entered or not, you're not really interested in having any contact with Mr. Walton. Again, I hope this just establishes a bright line so there's no question about, is this okay? Is this not okay? None of it's okay. He's just not a part of your life going forward. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and so I'm
yeah.
going to sign the order. Since you're here, I'll give you a copy of it now. A copy of it will get emailed to you.
Okay.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, if I may, Your Honor. So there were a couple of sections that I had requested initially, and they weren't reflected in the document that I was served. So
what orders, what questions?
So it was under general restraints, section D, protected person school. As I mentioned, I am enrolled.
You're enrolled, and I thought,
at
were you
Evergreen.
teaching? I thought heard you were teaching.
I'm taking classes.
Okay.
Yeah. So a protected person
And
school.
then are you associated with, and this is at Evergreen?
Yes.
Are you associated with Evergreen at all?
Me, no.
Okay, then you're not to go be at, that's included in the restraining order. Then you're not to come within 1,000 feet of Mr. Walton's school. Anything else?
Yes. Section F, intimate images. As I mentioned, I've have reason to believe that Jason has intimate images of me and may have shown them to other people. I would like section F included as well.
I'll check that box also based on what's in the petition and the testimony. So you're not to do that either. Do you understand that, Miss?
I don't.
Mr. King?
Yes, I understand. That's fine. I don't have any images. I've actually gotten a new.
Okay, again, just all I need from you is I understand and it won't happen.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Walton.
And then section M, restricted use of litigation. I am concerned about retaliation from Mr. King. So I would prefer that be included as well.
I'm not going to do that preemptively. Okay. And if something happens that, I'll if he does pursue some sort of legal action, you can bring this up with whatever judicial officer at that time, and then they'll make that determination whether or not that's abusive or not.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Anything further?
That's fine. That's all.
Yes, Mr. King, do you want to say something?
I'm curious, what do you mean by legal action or?
I don't know, and that's why I didn't check that box. And so that box isn't checked. He's asking. So I don't know what's going to happen or what could happen, and that's why I'm not going to preemptively make a judgment on that.
Can I ask just so I'm clear on everything, because I've not ever had this happen before.
Say that again. I missed that.
I said, can I ask, just so I'm clear on everything, because I've never had a restraining order, so I've not been through it before. What exactly, because we obviously do live like in the same similar area. Like, let's say I'm at a restaurant eating, or I'm at a grocery store or whatever, and not on purpose, but he shows up. Like, what happens? What do I do or he do? Like, how does it work?
The person who's under the order is you.
Okay.
And so if you go to a place and he's there, you need to leave. And then if, at the same time, I don't want this used offensively either. If you know that he's a place, you can go in there to force him out. That's not, he's under the court order, but if you go to a place and you happen to see him, probably be a good idea to eat or go someplace else.
Okay.
But you're the one, if you ever found in the same restaurant there, Mr. King, you're the one who's going to be in trouble, and you need to understand that.
So basically, like, if I'm in the middle of dinner and he shows up, I mean, that hasn't
Well,
happened.
hopefully
Right?
then if he would see you, then he would just go eat someplace else.
Oh, okay, got it.
And he's nodding.
Yeah.
What's
Yes,
that?
you're on.
Is nodding agreement.
Okay.
That'll conclude the hearing. A copy of this did you just get emailed to him? Or you can get this off the Thurston County District Court website, Mr. King. You, sir,
Okay.
can come and have it right here.
May I ask one more question? How does it
Yes,
affect me as far as like work or
I don't know the answer to that. I have no idea.
Okay, got it.
You know, in some fields it has an effect, in some fields it doesn't. I'm just making this decision based on what's in front of me here.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And frankly, I don't know, and I'm not asking, I don't know what you do or anything like that. But anyway, you can get a copy of the order off the website. Mr. Walton, come on up and grab that and you're free to go. And you're free to leave the Zoom call there, Mr. King.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. How is it you need an order against Mr. Devaney?
So
Judge's explanation is procedure. Contempt requires strict compliance, and this motion isn't specific enough on the violations, so she can't find Mom violated the order. No makeup time and no attorney's fees, each pays their own. Moving forward, exchange at police department lobby and pickup at school dismissal, now 3:25.
How is it you need an order against Mr. Devaney?
so Nathan and I broke up in September, and we tried to remain friends after that. In October, I had asked him for some space, and he continued contacting me, numerous text messages, until I finally ended up blocking him on October 21st. After I blocked his phone, he started contacting me on Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and Google Meet, which I wasn't even aware was a thing. Emails, voicemails, he would not stop. He threatened suicide numerous times, saying that it was my fault that he was going to die. And all I wanted was space. I had asked him very clearly, please stop contacting me. I don't wish to continue having a relationship with you. I am not looking to be friends. I just want peace. So between the last time I had contacted him was October 21st when I had blocked him. And then I continued to get emails and voicemails. And one of the emails said that if I would just meet with him face to face and tell him that I didn't want to continue having a relationship with him, then he would leave me alone. So I took that as an opportunity and said that I emailed him back and said, I don't owe you a face-to-face meeting. I've already asked that you stop contacting me. I don't want a relationship with you. And that sent him into a spiral again. That I sent that email on December 9th, and it sent him into a spiral again that night, and that continued into the morning.
What do you mean by spiral? Describe that briefly.
Like 17 emails at least. He was blocking his phone number so that it showed up on my phone as a private number over and over again. I think I've got 8 voicemails from that night between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. One of the voicemails said that he had taken 24 a leave and was going to take 24 more. He's allergic to naproxen. He sent me pictures of in the email about of his face swollen, and saying all this was my fault and that he was going to die because of me. And I just want peace.
Okay. Let me hear from Mr. Devaney. Am I saying your name correctly, first of all? Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And what's your position on her request for an order?
I'm not really trying to try and fight it. Everything she said about the electronic communications were true. There were a couple things in the packet that I saw that she had checked about stalking. I never once stalked her,
Okay.
but I'm not refuting
Okay.
the electronic communications or the threats of suicide. I did do those, Your Honor. I have no ill will towards her. I mean her no harm. I'm trying to move on with my life. I've been suffering from a lot of mental and emotional health issues lately.
Are you seeing anybody
I
about those
just
things?
recently did start seeing a therapist. Yeah, I just had my third session.
Okay, good.
Last Friday.
And then you're here, you just a friend in support of you. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I've never had this happen before, so I didn't even know if I needed to show up. So I'm here
Well,
just stating the case.
I'm glad you did. A lot of people don't. You saw just a minute ago when the person who chose not to be here, so an order was entered, and had you not been here, an order would be entered. Based on what's been, I appreciate what you're telling me, and I'm happy to hear that you're seeing somebody to deal with all this. I am going to enter an order, just because, I don't think there's too much of it. Sounds like you understand why this might be disturbing for Ms. Forney, to hear all this. And so, hopefully this just, again, provides a bright line. She's just not a part of your life, going forward. And hopefully that'll leave you free to address the issues that you have identified for yourself that you need to see. I'm glad to hear that you're seeing somebody. I hope you get that worked out. And, but let's just eliminate Ms. Forney as an issue you need to deal with. You need to deal with, you have your own things to deal with. All right. Give me just a moment and then we'll give you a copy of that. And again, this order will be in place for 1 year. Again, you're not to cause her any harm. Don't contact her. Don't engage in stalking behavior. I heard what you said, that you haven't done that, but nonetheless, that'll just be part of the order. Don't come within 1,000 feet of her residence, or place of employment. And since you're here, we'll make a copy of that, send that to you. Ma'am, we'll send a copy of this to you, email a copy of it to her. You'll get a copy of this to email, all right?
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck to you, ma'am. You're free to go. A copy of the order will get sent to you. And one last time, it'll be in place for 1 year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. How is it you need an order against Mr. Miles?
Mr. Miles and I dated very briefly back in October of 2025. And I very quickly realized that this just wasn't gonna work out for us. He was very manipulative when it came to sex and touching, and I just wasn't comfortable with that. And I expressed my boundaries to him multiple times throughout our very short relationship, and he continued to ignore those.
You said
So we broke up. We tried to remain friends while he went off dating.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Your petition says you dated back in the summer of 2018.
Yes, we did. And then we broke up. We broke up, and then we started dating again in 2025.
In 2025. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
You can continue.
And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. We decided to be just friends, strictly friends. And I woke up for work one morning and found all of my debit cards cut up. And I had asked him about this. He said, "Oh, I don't know what happened." So I just kind of I brushed it off, which was really silly of me. And then I'm currently staying with family friends, and he kind of moved in, kind of didn't move in, but he was staying with us, and the family friend did not want him there. for more than one night, but he kind of made himself, you know, a presence there. I'm seeking a restraining order because I generally feel unsafe around Mr. Miles. He has caused me a great amount of emotional distress. I am very nervous when it comes to leaving my workplace, when it comes to leaving the house, when it comes to just going out within town. I'm very nervous that I'm going to see him.
So instead, I'm going to say he came to your residence. And you
Yes.
guys are the worst people I've ever met.
Yes.
Pray to your false gods before I take control. And then he proceeded to punch himself.
Yes,
Tell
he
me about
punched himself
that.
in the mouth repeatedly and spit blood in his aunt's face.
So are you living with his aunt?
Yes, and they are in agreement with the restraining order.
And so does he still live there?
No.
Okay. Mr. Miles, could you unmute, first of all?
Yeah.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
What's your response to Ms. Palmer's request for she just basically want an anti-harassment order that keeps you away from her?
I have no problem with that. You know, a lot of this documentation, there's lies in it. The statement about that you were just reading and me punching myself in the face multiple times. No, what happened was my uncle went to throw a punch at me. And yes, I hit myself in the mouth because I covered up because I wasn't trying to get punched in the mouth. And then it says that I said that I turned to Miss Palmer right after that and told her that you're lucky that you work where you do, otherwise you'd be there in a blink of an eye, which that happened October, what was it, November 24th, which was in the afternoon, which Miss Palmer was at work when this happened. So she wasn't even there to say that all of this happened and say that I said that, turned to her and said that to her face when she was never there. The
Well, she
debit
was,
card,
but you said it to her.
no, I never said that to her. She was never at the house when that situation ever occurred. She's taking what my aunt is saying happened and wrote it down as she was there when she was never there. And she was at work, so she's clocked in at work. So it's proved that she wasn't there.
Where do you work, ma'am?
I work at Telecare Thurston Mason.
And then did he say that to you? You'd be lucky to work where you do. Otherwise,
Yes.
did you hear him say that?
Yes, I did.
Right
And
after I
Mr.
spit in Linda's face.
And were you there when again, Mr. Miles, don't interrupt, please. I'll give you a chance. He's saying that you weren't there when this whole punching in the mouth incident took place?
I was there.
All right. Go ahead there, Mr. Miles. I'll give you the final word here.
Your Honor, I can send you text messages where I sent messages to my current wife and talked to my current wife about the situation that happened around 4 o'clock in the evening, where I was working so I could show you where I got off work and where she was at work till 7:30 at night.
So it sounds like you guys have known each other for a long time. If you dated in
Yes.
2018 and now.
Well, we really didn't date. We hung out for a few days, and I was talking to another girl, and I told her that I did not want to pursue a relationship with her, that I wanted to pursue a relationship with this other girl. And
Was this 2018 or 2025?
2025.
Okay. And then I thought I heard you just say you're married.
Yes, I was in the middle. Me and my wife broke up, and we were gonna get a divorce, and I ended up going over to my aunt's house and staying there. Nobody told me that I could only stay one night. I was told this when they were kicking me out. I have no problem staying away from Miss Palmer.
Okay.
I've only seen her a few times throughout the years, and I've seen her like 5 or 6 times over the years, but I've never said nothing. I seen her one time about 6, 7 months ago at Planet Fitness, said hi, and then in October. I have no problem not talking, going anywhere around any of that. My aunt, my uncle. I'm just cutting that out of my life.
Okay.
I had a lot of bad influences in my life, and everything that I've cut out of my life. And so I have no desire to be anywhere near, around, talk to, or anything of Miss Palmer or anything of that nature. So the order
Okay.
is not really needed, because I have no problem staying away from her, because I don't want to be associated with lies like that.
And so, Ms. Palmer, I guess I'll give you the final word here then. What's your take on what he just told me?
I still would like the protection order to be in place for my own safety. I have no desire to be around Mr. Miles. I want no association with him in any way, shape, or form. But for my own safety, I would like a protection order
Okay.
to give me peace of mind.
So based on the testimony combined with what's in the petition, and I kind of hear an agreement from you there, Mr. Miles, an order will be it'll be in place for 1 year. And again, it's just create a bright line where you know where you're at, Mr. Miles. You're not to contact her or where she's living, and if she's living with your aunt and uncle, you're not to go there, which also sounds like a great idea if there's physical confrontations between the two of you, regardless of who's at fault. And so that order will be in place for 1 year.
What limitations does that put on me for anything?
Just don't cause any harm. Don't cause any harm. Don't contact her. Don't engage in stalking behavior. Don't come 1,000 feet of her residence or place of employment. That's it.
Easy peasy.
All right. That's, I hope so. I hope so.
Thank
That's
you,
it for
Your Honor.
today.
Can I
You
have
both are
this
free to
emailed to
go.
me, please?
Yes. And Mr. Palmer, Miles, you can get a copy of it off the district court website.
All right.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
both are free to go.
Yep.
Verdict wrap. The enforcement is denied because the alleged violations don't meet time-specific pleading, so mom isn't held in contempt. Dad can't get makeup time, and fees aren't shifted. Judge calls that punitive. Lesson: follow the order, confirm dismissal time, and exchange inside. Like, comment, subscribe, and share for more.